So continues my opus of Is God a Bully? Quite a few people believe that God is omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. These folks also believe that God is a God of love, and I believe that way myself for a time. I had lived in a church dormitory for 7 years where the love of God and Jesus was preached, and I tried to do all I could to be pleasing in the eyes of Jesus. I tried to be the apple of God's eye. However, despite or in spite of my love, I failed, and I was eventually told to leave. Were any of my prayers answered? No, even though I sacrificed all I had to give. I was rewarded with nothing but sorrow and regret. And when I lived on the streets, I often wondered, where was God? I may as well have been professing and praying to a wall, because there was no evidence to suggest that God or Jesus ever cared what I did, or even what I wanted. After a time, I went over the Holy Bible again, reading it from the beginning, and I realized that I really didn't like what I saw. After a while, I determined that if God truly did exist, he was nothing more than a tyrant and a bully, one of who is full of trillions of sins of omission since the beginning of thought and time. That is to say that for a man that knows to do right and refuses to do so, this is a sin, even of omission. How much more? How much more so for a loving God of omnipotence, who according to Scripture expects his servants to abstain from sin, even while he is unjust, cruel, full of malicious intent, and merciless. God will steal the dreams of a good man and give him nothing but regret, even as he has given those dreams to another, one that doesn't have to work as hard as you or me to attain. And God will present this one with life-altering mental anguish and abysmal depression and discouragement, even as he suggests that he hates this one, has no interest in him or his dreams. He punishes this one merely for living and breathing and having dreams in the first place, and only for wanting to do what is right. This one knows what it is like to go without eating for days, although eating from a trash can was always optional. This one also knows what it is like to sleep in parks, alleyways, and abandoned buildings. This one furthermore knows what it is like to be abused and rejected by parents and society, just for living and breathing and trying to break through, trying to show that their love was true. This one becomes nothing more than a wager in a sick and twisted game of reality that strongly suggests that God either never cared or was never there. Either God was blind or just unkind. All of the time, where every prayer is apparently answered with a no, so much to the point that the individual wonders why it is they are alive in the first place. And God apparently propagates this thought by giving evidence to suggest that the individual is ignored and or rejected. Evidence strongly suggests all this is meaningful in the eyes of the individual is meaningless in the eyes of God. Always, was, forever, will be, and never by the choice of the individual, wherein choice becomes an illusion turned over to only what one is allowed to accomplish.